Hello, this is Mr. Chris. In this video, I will share with you the performance of my high-yield dividend fund portfolio. Here's the spreadsheet that I used to track the performance of my high-yield dividend fund portfolio. But first, let me tell you how I got here. Early this year, the company that I work for was purchased by another company. I used to be a project manager for an oil and gas company. I was also the company's senior staff electrical, instrumentation, and control engineer. Due to my seniority and my age, I know that I will be targeted to be laid off once the merger of the companies were completed. Therefore, starting May of this year, I started preparing for my retirement and set up 2 ways to generate my retirement income. Luckily, I was able to save a bit in my IRA account that I am able to set up a good portfolio to generate my retirement income. Prior to July 2024, I was quite conservative in my investments, and most of my IRA accounts is in cash and a little bit in Fidelity mutual funds. To generate my monthly retirement income, I divided my IRA account into 3 buckets of funds: cash for trading the wheel strategy, and cash for high-yield dividend fund, mainly from Defiance and YieldMax. I started trading the wheel strategy in July. I also started my high-yield dividend fund portfolio in late May to get my first set of dividends in June. Now let's get back to the spreadsheet. This spreadsheet tracks the performance of my high-yield dividend fund portfolio. I have 18 funds from YieldMax, 3 from Defiance, namely QQ, QY, WDTE, and IWMY. I have 1 from Granite Share, TSL. TSL is a 1.25 leverage fund trading Tesla, and a Fidelity Money Market Fund, FDR. Each of the YieldMax funds has 1,000 shares except for Alti with 7,000 shares. For the Defiance funds, I used to have 2,000 shares per fund. However, after the reverse split, I now have only 666 shares per fund. One of the main parameters that I track is the gain or loss due to changes in the net asset value of each fund. Using the gain or loss due to changes in net asset value plus the amount of dividends received, I can calculate the total return for each fund. You can see the total return for each fund in the gain or loss plus total dividend column. Now let's take a look at our monthly dividend columns. For June, I received $28,267. For July, $27,567. For August, $23,819. Now, August was a bad month. The market went down big last August. Then we recovered in September, $29,426. October, $30,584. And November, $29,666. YieldMax just paid the weekly dividend for Group B today. So in this spreadsheet, it also shows about $3,278 for December. Also, Coney includes dividends from 400 shares from my reinvestment fund. The reinvestment fund that I have is equal to the total dividends that I already received. Overall, I have received a total of $172,610.25 of dividend. Out of this total dividend, I received $12,484.50 from the cash account. Hence, the total dividend I received from the high-yield funds is equal to $160,125.75. The total amount of my investment is $557,892.24, while the current net asset value for the fund is $479,445.10. If we add the $160,125.75 and the current net asset value, we will have $639,570.85, or a gain of $81,678.61. This is my total return. Note that this total return will always fluctuate because the net asset value of the funds are always changing. When I started looking at these funds, specifically YieldMax, I was worried about the net asset value erosion. I talked to many savvy investors and I was told that I should not rely on these type of funds for my retirement income. You can actually see several YouTube videos saying to stay away from YieldMax. However, the project manager in me sees a different perspective. Hence, I am all in with YieldMax and Defiance. I am basically betting that I will be able to sustain and maintain my planned retirement income from my YieldMax and Defiance fund portfolio because it's a good project to invest in due to its low payback period compared to the typical dividend fund. I will later share with you in later videos my perspective as to why I think a YieldMax portfolio is a good investment. One thing that I'm now working on is reinvestment. I did not utilize an automatic reinvestment scheme. I want to target specific funds for my reinvestment. I actually already started reinvesting some of the dividends I received. As I said earlier, I already have 400 shares of Coney from from my reinvestment fund. Also, I recently purchased additional NBDY, CONI, and ULTI from said fund. I'll share them with you in my next video. In summary, here's the performance of my YieldMax Defiance high yield fund portfolio. I have an average dividend per month of $27,000, a total return of $81,678.61, and that investing in high yield dividend funds like YieldMax needs to be looked at from a different perspective. In my perspective, this type of funds need to be looked at from a project management perspective. If you like this video or any of the videos in my channel, please hit that like button and subscribe. If you have any question, please write a comment and I will try to respond to you the best I can. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.